Hey, my friends, welcome. Here I am again. I'm happy to see you all. Well, I'm not seeing you. You are seeing me. I'm happy that you're seeing me all. I wish I could see you. That would be lovely. Today, I was thinking this morning, and as I was doing my workout, and I started to think about like the journey of life, the spiritual process, the process of maturation and of falling more into who we truly are, is a process of going from more resistance to less resistance, in a way, to what is. Resistance to what is. By the way, I need to buy more wigs or more costumes because I keep wearing the same things over and over again in all my videos. I need to update my costume wardrobe. Resistance to what is. And I was thinking about my own process. As a teenager, early adulthood, I was like getting high off the cuff all the time, drugs and numbing my experience, and I was resisting reality in such a profound way. Had I continued that way, I would have died. I would have ended up in a very, very bad place, and my life would have become increasingly more and more miserable. And there was a lot of inside of myself that I had to deal with, which that's why I was resisting, because I didn't want to feel all the pain and sorrow and intense feelings that were underneath. So I was numbing myself continuously. And then I was blessed that I was able to go to rehab at the age of 23 and really started this inner spiritual journey of self-discovery and healing. And I'm 42 now, so whatever, it's been 19 years. And as I see my process, it's been, progressively, I resist less and less reality. I resist the now less and less. I still resist it. I still find myself in fantasy land sometimes, about thinking about the future, wanting some kind of better future because there's something that I'm not being able to be with inside myself. And when I recognize I have the intention to be with myself, and as I've done this process, this unwinding, this less and less resistance, it's not just a mental resistance. It's a mental resistance in one part. It's an emotional heart resistance. The heart is closed. The heart is afraid to open up because it doesn't want to feel the sensitivity, because the heart is the ultimate sensitive organ. And if we believe that there's all this pain and all this thing that we don't want to feel, so we keep it close to try to protect ourselves. What we miss there is that, as in that sensitivity, we're also cutting ourselves from the most profound states of joy and ecstasy and bliss and love and the immensity and the it's beyond what I can even comprehend, how big the heart can open. And my heart is opening. It's just like, but it still closes down. It still is afraid. It still pulls back because it doesn't fully trust. So it's a process. Oh, and then the body as well. My body was tight and contracted and tense, and little by little, with all the process, all the somatic therapies that I've done, all the spiritual openings that I've done, all the more and more trust that my body feels in reality, in the goodness of reality, that it softens and it opens, and then there's less resistance. And then what happens is, like, the historical me that thinks that's in control, kind of like has relinquished some of the control, and there are moments when I am the river, I am the vastness that moves my life. So my life is being moved by this immensity, this depth of being that's not my historical, my constricted, my resistant self. I like that, my resistant self.
I am the resistant self, and I hate change. I like things to be stable. But as soon as things start to get too comfy and stable, I make sure I sabotage, so that conflict comes in. Because I thrive in conflict, and I thrive in resistance, and I thrive in constriction. I hate the goodness, and I hate the softness, and I hate the vulnerability, so I just resist.
and then I find myself in my accepting, open, willingness to be here self. So that's that. That's my thing. My gist about resistance. I'll keep thinking about this. I like that. I like the idea. It's like, one more thing. It's like we don't get to choose. It's an interesting paradox there, because there is a choice that we can make to come here. I choose to be here. I choose to fully bring myself here. But I don't get to choose how much resistance I have. I only get the choice of, as I recognize my resistance, I chose to bring myself and be fully aware of the resistance. And then the resistance begins to open and soften. And then another thing comes up, and then I tied up again. And little by little, there's more opening, more trusting, and then who knows what happens after that, That's my journey so far, and I love it. I love you all. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.